Welcome back to NASCAR Unleashed. Where today that the next generation cars update was pretty some sort of an interested becoming the GT4 or GT3 cars by itself. We have done here in Daytona. We just already qualified 24 hours of Talladega, attending for the 4th of July in Texas Motor Speedway, done here in Charlotte Motor Speedway, Bistro, Auto Club Speedway, we just already done here, Homestead Miami, that we just already done, in the second part of this time, Indianapolis, Nashville, and I'm not going to be pretty sure that we're going to be going for 2 tracks. And now, we just already done here, for probably that we already done in Dover and Atlanta, including Las Vegas. But unfortunately, we're unable to get right there to Kansas Speedway because this racetrack is unavailable. That we just decided getting right here to Michigan International Speedway. So let's just probably to do for its 12 laps. Of course, I'm not sure that we're gonna be doing for the number 16. So alright, let's just going for the Austin Dillon, Austin Cindric for the number 2. I'm probably not sure that it's gonna be doing this like this thing as well. So, Brad Keselowski changes this car, and the number 2 driven was changed by Austin Cindric. I'm probably that it's gonna be using for the number 6 car anyways. So, let's jump into this vehicle. And probably, I'm not sure, this is probably the most speed like this thing as well. The supercars reference that I just completely jump on this vehicle. If I jump inside of this vehicle, that is the most ridiculously loud vehicle we ever tried to saw. So let's just completely jump inside of this vehicle. And let's just get into our first lap. Here we go, let's probably doing this. For sure. The acceleration of this vehicle is 187 miles an hour, or 186 miles an hour, and we just hit the collidable cone as here. I'm probably not sure this isn't going to be pretty good as well, and it was completely ruined for itself. This is a top speed vehicle, and some sort of a Gran Turismo vehicle as well, but not being afflicted to some other kinds of sim racing games as well. And when the lag produces even more, it will be a lot ruined to do this. So I absolutely try to get all the way down into the brakes, and it's time to start the trial on 8 laps. Let's go for the 8 laps in Michigan International Speedway. And we just need to be doing for just a little bit for one thing. So, Keselowski is going to be qualified a little bit to do this. Down to 164 miles an hour, because instead of 186 miles an hour to do this, it will be ruined. So, down into 185 miles an hour, instead of 186 miles an hour. We just completed for our first lap. And down to 155 miles an hour for just a little bit in front. And looks like it's not going for speeds at about for this thing. That last year's vehicle, it speeds up to 186 miles an hour. Just like for the Generation 6 car from the 2021. By 2023, it all's down to 185 miles per hour, minus 1 miles per hour. It is down into its current top speed of 185. So we're in lap number 3. It's not going to be making towards to tap the wall. We're just going to be making very much. This is starting to get a little bit off fence. But down into 121. And off the track and corner cutting the course. And I'm probably, that doesn't going to be count as qualified to itself for its first warning. So, it is lap number 4. And I cannot believe this isn't going to make it do so. but what actually ever to do this, that does not count for this what actually pretty 1 cent to do this. I make sure we're gonna be getting back into the pits, still absolutely going for a wall ride, down into 151 miles an hour before the 3rd turn as well. And we just completely reaching all the way to its 5th lap, and we're going to head back into the pits. But since I'm able to go back into the pits, looks like I'm able to slow down for very much more, and I just completely see the traffic cone on that front. So we're not going to be doing this for, if I just going to be lapping the pits, that does not work itself for any time as well. So I'm currently going to be using Daniel's Sures that we just already spawned like this. Probably the weirdest thing of all times. We're gonna be spawning. Danny Hamlin is still using for this vehicle for the 50th anniversary as well. So let's go for Chris Buescher, and it's probably gonna be using the number 17. We're still gonna be using the Chase Elliott vehicle. Now I'm probably not gonna be very sure to do this. So let's do for the Chandler Smith. And let's probably doing this for another time. But it's not going to be always to do for its best acceleration to do this. Here comes the lap number 5. But unfortunately, there is no podium on this track. So, during for the intermission of this lap time, it's time for to go for an out lap once again. Let's go for 187 miles an hour. If that hits, that it eventually loses the speeds, as possibly we didn't know it. Now we never noticed that I'm not going to be using Toyotas like this thing. We're still using Camaros in the Mustang, and we possibly that reach it down to 185, and which is not pretty good. Now we're on lap number 5, when out lap to do this, which is absolutely for 186 miles an hour. But now in the front of the start, where there's going to be the jump start lane, it actually submitted to minus 1 mile per hour to do this, because it's absolutely not the same speed, of course. And now the final corner to do this, it is going to be the last 3 laps to go. I'm probably almost trying to break things down. It's going to be braking check. And eventually, that hits the wall. Eventually. So, it's not going to be going for around here. That Chandler Smith is going to be qualifying for just to do this. I'm not sure that this isn't going to be making things a little bit to do this. Chandler Smith, that since then, Chandler Smith has just entered NASCAR racing around for here for another year ago. So it's going to be about 2 laps remaining until we'll be seeing a round of this results. And not, of course, it's not going to be making things a little bit, to get things a little bit in front. And it's going to be for our final lap. And I'm not sure this isn't going to be making just like I guess. So the white flag has just went down, and probably that waving the white flag off to do this. So looks like it's going to be down into 158 miles an hour, and under 150 miles per hour. This is probably slower than police cars. So this is going to be the last turn, and that will be send it all the way to the finish, and it's going to be to the end of this video. Of course, I'm not going to be probably to do this, but what if I'm going to be returning back into some sort of one thing? So I already finished in 8 laps time. That the checkered flag has waved it already, because there is no flag stands onto the start finish. So probably we're headed back inside of the pits as really fast as possible. we completely lose speeds, that we just started to get a little bit lower. We eventually keep on hitting the brakes, and we'll see amount of lap times to do this. And I don't like to hit that cone once again. And we have finished 8 laps in a total for qualification. So it looks like this is absolutely doing this for every 4 laps time. Now I just completely able to be finishing for the one time to do this. So the lap time is over 35 seconds. Let's just jump out of the car, and is it going to be despawned itself? Let's check on the lap times we got here, and it already despawns around itself. And let's just respawn that vehicle, and that will be wrapped up for today's video. Everything is 36 seconds for the fastest lap times. Is whatever to do this. The fastest lap is 36.333, and this will be the winner. Is gonna be to do this. Chandler Smith wins against, for one thing as well, Radulewski. So looks like probably Chevrolet wins. And thanks for watching, for all your support. And probably, if you like for today's video, that the last video that we recorded, that will be for the next generation cars update, that already making changes to the generation 6 cars have been removed and being replaced to the next generation cars as well. Thanks for watching and for all your support, and this is going to be Turbo Concept is signing off, and I'll see you on track, and especially NASCAR fans, all later.